Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Turner with our DMOpro Zoom. We're so excited to be with you all this morning. I've missed you, and it's great to see your faces and just reconnect. And I've gone to a couple of boot camps, one that I hosted in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and then one up in Keystone, Colorado with Jennifer and Sean Myers. I highly recommend going to a boot camp for somebody else's team. So, what I mean by that is, let's say like I'm on the Campbell team, right? So if Campbell team, we just kind of little, the team pockets of teams, they have a different way of training, a different way of thinking. And it's great to get just a little bit different perspective. And yet it's so much exactly the same too, which is really cool. But one of the things I found in both of those trainings was just how much the information stacks on the next speaker and goes right along, like it really lines up with what the last speaker said. So we don't talk as speakers, like we're not talking about, everyone's talk ahead of time and what everyone's going to be discussing. We don't know what the next speaker is going to be. At least I didn't, and I was the one actually hosting the event. I just told my girls, "What do you want to talk about?" Okay, I trust you. Talk about that thing then. I really did not micromanage anything with that. And yet it was so beautiful. They did an amazing job. So Cindy and Gloria and Sherry and Linda were speakers at our boot camp, and they were fabulous. And so it was just a lot of fun. And going to the mountains for our 27th anniversary and just being with different people, and yet it's the people we see all the time at conferences and leaders, and it was just really a beautiful time. And Colorado is gorgeous. So if you are not going to a boot camp this summer, I think there's a couple more. I really encourage you to go. And even though I went to them, weekend, one week after the other, I told Jarrett, I was like, I am hosting the event and I'm speaking at the boot camp, but I feel like I need fed. And we as leaders do need fed. When you are working and working, it's why they have them. That's why these boot camps were invented, if you will, is sort of that pep, that boost in between conferences and to just meet in a smaller group with people. And you just get to know people at a different level than you do at conference. And at conference, we stick with kind of our own same teams, and especially if you have team with you, then you're helping them and you're helping the new people, and it's like a work weekend where boot camps are a little bit more relaxed. And even if you do have a larger team there with you, it's just different training. It just hits different too. So it's all from, the field and not as much from corporate. And it's a must. So I highly recommend that you do that. And if you don't have anyone, any boot camps that you're able to do, then I would seriously suggest hosting a super Saturday in your town where all of the team members are, around you, whether your team or other people's teams, and just, ask five of them to speak for an hour and do something simple for lunch. Like you can really simplify it. It really wasn't that difficult. You can find a room that you guys can stay in and, has tables and chairs and rent for pretty cheap and charge people, $15-20 each and be able to pay for it. But just do your own, right? Like there wasn't one in our area, so I hosted a boot camp, and it really wasn't as much work as I would have thought. The other girls really helped me. So be the one to pull the information and then start teaching that to other people. That is something that leaders do. If you have an aspiration to be a national marketing director, I've said this before, but start looking at what do the people, at the next level in your, that you want to be at, what do they do in their business? And then start doing those things. And I was hosting team training events long before I think I as a sales coordinator, because there was nobody else in my team to do that, right? So I would go to conference and I would pull that information, I would take the notes, and then I would teach them what I learned. And that's really an important aspect to leadership, is being able to teach that information and to lead people, right? To guide them. So if you want to be a national marketing director, if you're wanting to make this as a business for yourself, that's something that leaders do. So, not just hosting your own wellness presentations, but also hosting your own business presentations or business events where you're getting team together. And that's something I've not done a great job of in this area. And I recognize that. Every other place that we've lived, I have done that. So I don't know why I've missed out on that, but I think we've just been really centered and focused on health events and the fun events, and I don't feel like I've fed my team well here locally because as you grow your team, you feel like you're giving out information all the time, right? Like, especially on Voxer or on calls, and you're giving out information. But so you assume like everyone has seen this, everybody knows this, everyone knows what to do, but it's probably not true. Like, not everybody listened to that call that I did, not everybody had that conversation with me. And so a lot of people get missed, honestly, I think more locally than my expanded team. So that's just something that I'm personally going to really focus on the next couple weeks, is gathering my local team here together and doing some sort of training for them. And then the other thing I thought of as leaders that we want to make sure that we're doing is personally giving the information to individuals. So let's use this incentive, this boost your business incentive that we have. Same thing, we can put out information. I can do calls, I can record them, and I can put the information out there, but it does not mean that anyone actually gathered that information and has said, okay, I can do it. Or maybe they watched it, but they're probably going to need a lot more handholding, especially if they haven't been active for a while, right? Like, we've lost a lot of momentum the last couple of, I would just say, let's say couple of years, honestly. So, especially since the digital transformation, people just still feeling lost, or they've never even logged into anything. And then we're going to just expect them to do this, boost their business and jump right back in. It's probably going to take a more personal conversation to them. I had a lot of people through the project broadcast say they wanted to be on, but I don't even know if they were on. And then it's up to me. I just wrote those people's names down this next couple of weeks. That's a way that we as leaders can multiply our time, right? Because yes, I'm going to do this incentive. That's me. So that's one person. But when I can assimilate vision and action into other people, into my team, that's where duplication is. And that's how we get paid, guys. Like, that's how we really build a paycheck with this. And that's what sets this business apart from any other business that you're going to exchange dollars for hours for, right? Like, you can only work so many hours and you can only be paid what your boss is going to be willing to pay you. And you really can't multiply it outside of that without getting a second job and doing something else on the side. But if you really want, I don't want to use the word passive because it's not passive income, but residual income, then you have to have an investment in some sort of business that's going to do that. So let's just say somebody who has a course online, that they sell a course, they put their time and effort into building out the course one time, and then that course can be sold over and over and over again, right? Their time is going to then be in marketing that course constantly. They're going to have to be on social media. They're going to have to be putting out content. They're going to have to drive people to that course to buy the course, but they put their time and effort into that course one time. Well, with our business, we can put our time, our investment into the people. So we're not having to invest, let's just say, in real estate as a business. If you're going to multiply your time with Airbnbs or multiply your money with Airbnbs, you're going to have to multiply the number of Airbnbs you have, right? Like, I would have to then take the money I'm making from this Airbnb and I'm going to roll it into the loan for the next Airbnb that would get rolled into another loan for the next Airbnb. That's how I would duplicate that. And I would have multiple houses all making income. So, thinking business wise, let's be business owners with this. When we invest in our team and we help give them vision and we help get them into action, that is what we're doing. Think of it as like buying another Airbnb. We're, putting them into action and then they're talking to their network, and that's where they build a team, and then this person builds their team, and then this person builds their team, and that's how it grows. And we don't have to have our hands in every single conversation as it expands. But it does mean we need to have our hands in the conversation, if you will, frontline to us and probably to three people down. So, what would that look like? For me, I'm recognizing that's going to be a lot of reaching out to individuals one by one, and then really coming up with a plan with them, especially those that have been uninvolved and just haven't been activated at all. It's going to be a bit unnerving, right? I mean, all of us, if you've just been kind of slowed down and then you're like, okay, I need to get started again. I want to. It's like, I don't know where to start. I'm even thinking that. I really didn't do very many events in May, none in June, other than the boot camps. And it's like, my brain's like, I don't know how to do this business. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm out. I haven't been doing anything. And it's like, yes, you do know how to do this. And so we just have to remind ourselves it is the basics of that DMO. And that's what we're going to teach them. So, conversations to reconnect with their for those that there was some interest. And what if you didn't put it out on Project Broadcast? It's totally fine. Now you've got the recording that I did. You can use that. You can gather some of your team and say, hey, I watched this. The company has this new incentive. I really think you would be interested in this. I watched it and I think it would be great for all of us watch together. We're going to watch it together as a team, get on Zoom and watch that video. And then you can talk with them individually outside of that. But we've got 3 months to do this incentive. Like we talked about last Thursday night, that's kind of a unique thing. Typically, they're 1 month and you got to get on it and get going. And that's for people that are already activated, right? Already in action. They're the ones that are probably going to latch onto those faster and they're going to run with them. So, I don't know after this 90-day run. I don't know if they're going to do another 90 days one or if they're going to do another one that's just a month, but we want to get as many people in action as we can. And there's lots of steps along the way, like little bites that we get to think of it like Pac-Man. We get to eat our way to all these little prizes and these points, and ting ting, we win the little prize, and then we keep going up. So it's not like you have to do all of it to get one thing, right? We get to do some of it and win, and some of it and win, and some of it and win, and then we get to win all of it. So I think that that can be an encouragement to some of those team members that maybe haven't done anything. And when we break that down, it comes out to two new customers and one partner plus a month. If you can do that as existing partners, two new trio customers and one partner plus. So partner plus direct to you. If we did that the next 3 months, so in July, August, and September, yeah, July, August, September, you win all the prizes. You get all of it. So it's definitely something that's doable. And I hope that those sheets kind of gave you guys some direction with that. So now that we have some direction, one, as leaders, we say, I'm going to do this. And like we have to decide in our head, let's go. All right, I want this. There's a difference if you've ever noticed like a new team member comes on board and they say, I mean, I'll talk to people. I'll tell people about Juice Plus. If they're interested, I'll give them information. If not, it's no big deal, but I don't want to be a salesperson. That person typically doesn't go very far. Either they get to a point like myself, I said that I wasn't getting customers. I was talking to people, but nobody was ordering. And I was like, no, this is dumb. I'm not going to waste my time. Obviously, either I'm not doing something right, the business doesn't work, the product is not interesting. But then I saw Sharon and Julie had customers and they had partners, so the business did work. So, oh, it was me. I was the problem. And so I had to look at myself and say, what am I doing that's not working here? And I had to evaluate that. And with Sharon's help, she was like, yeah, we have to do events. So then I stepped into the true activity of what builds this business, and it did work. Lo and behold, we got customers. I got to QSE. And so you when you have partners that are in that mindset, like that shift for me was about 3 weeks. For some people, that could take 3 years. I beg you not to do that to yourself. Like, just make the decision and, like, let's go. But okay, let's say this new person or this person, if they're thinking, oh, I'll just talk to some people, they might get one or two customers this summer and maybe a partner. Probably not, because there's a shift that happens when you really decide, okay, this is my business and I'm going to do this. And for new people, that you don't really exactly know what it's going to be. Some sort of vision has to happen for them to realize, oh, this could be for me too. That I could make some income on that. Like, I do need income and I do like this product and I do like the people in my life and I want to help them. And for some people, they have people that say yes, and that encourages them, like, hey, that worked. I talked to people and they said yes. It was actually the people saying no to me that was the one that triggered in my brain, oh, I got to do something different here. But to get different results, we have to do things different. And so, as leaders, we decide, yes, I'm going to do this for myself and I want this. And if you've been out of activity for a while, I promise this is going to help. We can trust that when we do the activity, the results come. So if you're in a place of doubt, like, I don't know if I can do this, I just want you to sit in that truth for a minute. Activity always gets results. It always does. And we've got 90 days to get the results that really is QSC in 30 days. People are getting to QSC in 30 days. We have 9 months to do that. I mean, 90 days, 90 days to do that, 3 months to do it. And so I really think that this will encourage you guys, knowing the level of activity it does take to get to QSC. You will have, like, gotten yourself to QSC again, and then you'll be able to, like, build on that confidence of, I know how to get somebody to QSC. I just did it for myself. And so really deciding, okay, I want to do this. And then who can you partner with one-on-one? I was thinking of bringing people into pods, like a pod of 3 or 4 ladies that really do want to do this. And then I'm working with them, which is smart, right? Because I can get 1 hour of coaching and talking with 4 of them versus 4 hours talking individually. I will talk to them individually once and then bring them into a pod so that I can multiply my time and my effort to really guide them. So, as leaders, that's something that's interesting to think about. We don't lead from behind, pushing people forward. We lead from the front, doing the activity, and then walking alongside these people and helping them do the same activity. And so that's why leaders get paid more money, right? Because it is more work, it is more effort, but it's like the joy is multiplied too, because you get to see the success of those people and you get to walk alongside them. So if you don't have a pod, like if you don't have active team that's doing this and you would like to be in a pod, reach out to me individually, not in the big Voxer group because I think that would be too much, but just reach out to me individually and say, Stacy, I would like to be included in one of your pods, and I'll just toss you into one of those as we build those out with my team, and you'll get to meet some new people. And I really think it can make it fun. We'll have the accountability side of it too, because I don't know about you guys, but this summer I'm gonna need some accountability. Like, it's just a different life without little kids, which is funny because I think with little ones, it's easier to do the business sometimes because you have all of their friends and all of their activities, and you get to be around other moms, and it's just lends to conversations more. And now that the kids are out of the house, I'm in my house more. Like, I'm just not out and about, and I've really having to pay attention what's going on in this community that I can go be a part of, and then sit at a table with ladies I don't know and just get to know them. And so that's something I would encourage you. Look on your Facebook events in the area and see what's going on, and plug into a couple of those over the next couple weeks. There's, like, I found one that was Babes Who Brunch. And I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, I actually like the group that's organizing it. They're a great group of ladies. It's 35 bucks at the golf course and they're having breakfast. I don't even know what it is, but I was like, sign me up. So I'm going next Saturday and I'm just really going to be intentional. I've got two other friends coming, but like, let's sit at a table with people we don't know and actually talk to them and get to know them. And then hosting a sourdough event, putting some feelers out there today, like who's open on these 2 nights, and see if I can get some conversations going that way. So be thinking about not just that you want to do this, and I'm speaking to you guys as leaders, kind of giving you maybe a little bit higher level coaching today of what does that look like to be a leader? What does that look like to have a team that you're leading forward? And I hope that encourages you guys and gives you a little bit of direction of how do we take this incentive, not just do it ourselves. We talked about that Thursday, that recording, but then how do we build this into our teams so that we've got some real momentum coming into this fall? And I hope you guys are coming into conference, bought your tickets already, and get your plane tickets. I still need to do that side of mine, but that is the end of our 30 minutes. I've got a couple of minutes for questions, and then I have another Zoom I have to be on. Do you guys have any questions for me? Barbara's saying no. We got it, Barbara? All right. Well, I will end this recording.